Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, welcome to my sixth lecture. So in this lecture we will discuss about the different corticosteroids, the drugs which are used, and the treatment of variety of conditions. So in this lecture we will cover the corticosteroid, the different corticosteroids which are used. So by the completion of this section, the learner will be able to, first of all, you will have to review the anatomy and physiology of adrenal gland, discuss the action, indication, side effects and contraindication of exogenous corticosteroids, list few commonly used corticosteroids, differentiate between short-term and long-term corticosteroid therapy, discuss the action, indication, side effect and contraindication of exogenous androgen therapy, discuss the consequences of abusing anabolic steroids, identify few names of anabolic steroids, apply nursing process for the clients using corticosteroids, androgen therapy, and calculate the drug dosage accurately. So in this lecture we will cover all these course curriculums which are given here. So this is your whole curriculum and you will have to cover it. Now start from corticosteroid. Now what are corticosteroids? So corticosteroids are a class of steroid hormone that are produced in the adrenal cortex. So there are two regions in the kidney. One is adrenal medulla and the second one is adrenal cortex. So adrenal medulla is the inner region and cortex is the outer regions. So it means that the outer region of the kidney, so they are responsible to secrete some steroid hormones, and these steroid hormones are called corticosteroids. So corticosteroids are the class of steroid hormone that are produced in the adrenal cortex. Corticosteroids, they are involved in the wide range of physiological systems such as stress response, immune response, and regulation of inflammations, as well as carbohydrate metabolism, protein catabolism, blood electrolytes level, and behavior. Corticosteroids such as cortisols, it control the carbohydrate, fats and protein metabolisms. The basic physiology of the glucocorticoids. So glucocorticoids, they are responsible, such as cortisols, they are responsible to control the metabolism of carbohydrate, fats and proteins and other, and anti-inflammatory by preventing the phospholipid release, decreasing the eosinophil action, and a number of other mechanisms. As we know that glucocorticoids, so they are used in the variety of skin infections and many more. So like glucocorticoids, so it may be the second one is mineralocorticoids. One is glucocorticoid and the second one is mineralocorticoid. So mineralocorticoids, these are such as, for example, aldosterone. So aldosterone or mineralocorticoid, they are responsible to control the electrolyte and water level, mainly by promoting the sodium retention in the kidney. These are the common natural hormones which are given here. The first one is corticosterone. So the chemical formula of corticosterone is C21H3H30O4. After that, cortisones, the chemical formula of cortisone is C21H2805. 17-hydroxy 11-dehydroxy corticosterones, and the third one is aldosterones. Now come toward the biosynthesis. So how these corticosteroids, so they are produced or they are formed inside in your body. So the corticosteroid, the mechanisms through which these corticosteroids, they are produced inside the body. So the corticosteroids, they are synthesized from the cholesterol within the adrenal cortex. Adrenal cortex is the major region where these corticosteroids, they are synthesized from the cholesterols. It is very easy to understand that all these corticosteroids, they are produced from the cholesterol within adrenal cortex. Most steroidogenic reactions. They are catalyzed by enzymes of the cytochrome B450 system family. As in previous lecture, I have told you about the P450 systems. They are located within the mitochondria and require adrenodoxine as a cofactor. Aldosterone and corticosterone share the first part of their biosynthetic pathway. The last part is either mediated by the aldosterone synthase for aldosterone or by 11 beta hydroxylase for corticosterones. These enzymes are nearly identical. They share 11 beta hydroxylations and 18 hydroxylation functions. So this is actually the biosynthesis, that how, through which mechanism these corticosteroids are formed. Moreover, I would like to say that aldosterone synthase is found within the zona glomerulosa, at the outer edge of the adrenal cortex. So as I have already discussed, that adrenal medulla, this is the inner region, while the adrenal cortex is the outer region. So most of these aldosterone synthase is found within the zona glomerulus region of the kidney, at the outer edge of the adrenal cortex. So 11 beta hydroxylase is found in the zona fasciculata and reticularis. Now come toward the classes of corticosteroids. So the classes of corticosteroids can be classified into different categories. Corticosteroids are generally grouped into 4 classes based on the chemical structure. For example, allergic reaction to one member of a class typically indicate an intolerance of all members of the classes. First of all, I am going to classify the corticosteroids on the basis of Kaufman classifications. So the Kaufman classification, they highlight the steroids are often used in the screening of allergies to topical steroids. Now come toward, this is group A. This is very simple classification. So in group A, these are the different type of corticosteroid which I have mentioned here. So the first one is short to medium acting glucocorticoid. These are glucocorticoid, and these glucocorticoids, they are released by the adrenal cortex region of the kidney. Hydrocortisones, it come under the category of, you can say, short actings and medium acting, intermediate acting glucocorticoids. Hydrocortisones, acetate, cortisone acetate, texocortols, fibrillate, prednisolones, methylprednisolones, and prednisolones. While in group B contains triamcinolones, acetonides, mometasone, M-cenonide, budesonides, desonides, and fluocenonide, and fluocinolones, acetonide, and helcinonide. So it come under the category of group B. Now come toward group C. So in group C, you can see here, group C contain beta-methasones. As we know that all these are anti-inflammatory agents, and these are by nature pharmacologically, these are corticosteroids. So beta-methasone, sodium phosphate, dexamethasone, sodium phosphate, and fluocortolones. Now come toward group D. So group D contain different corticosteroids. So the first one is hydrocortisone 17 butyrate. The second one is beta-methasone valerates, beta-methasone dipropionate, and prednicorbate, and floprednidines acetates. So it means that all these drugs, all these corticosteroids, so they are available in a market by different names. For example, Betnovate cream, it contain beta-methasones, or you can say beta-methasone, or for example Clobavate. Clobavate, so clobavate, it contains clobetasol, propionate. So all these are anti-inflammatory agents and they are used in the variety of infections. Now come toward the basic classifications of the corticosteroids. So the first one is topical steroids. So topical steroids, they are used topically on the skin. It means that these those corticosteroids which are available in cream form, lotions, or you can say in gel form, and many an ointment, so it can be directly applied on the skin, eye and mucous membrane. The second one is inhaled steroids. So inhaled steroids, they are used for to treat the nasal mucosa, for example sinuses, bronchi and lungs. The third one is oral form. So it means that corticosteroids, they are available in different dosage form, like in topical steroids, inhaled steroids, oral form and systemic. The oral forms such as prednisones, prednisones and prednisolone. So these are the oral form. The fourth one is systemic form. So the systemic form is available and injectable for use intravenously and parenteral routes. So I was discussing about the corticosteroid. Now the clinical indication or the clinical use of corticosteroids. So synthetic drugs with corticosteroids like effect, they are used in the variety of condition ranging from brain tumors to the skin diseases. Dexamethasone, so as we know that this also belong to corticosteroids and its derivatives, they are almost pure glucocorticoids, while prednisones and its derivatives have some mineralocorticoids action in addition to glucocorticoids effect. Another one is fludrocortisones. They are available in a market by trade name Florinef. So it is actually synthetic mineralocorticoids. After that, hydrocortisones, the most common drug which is available in a market by hydrocortisones, which is the chemical name, and cortisols. So that is actually cortisol that is available for replacement therapy. For example, let's suppose in case of adrenal insufficiency and congenital adrenal hyperplasia. So in these conditions, these drugs can be preferred or recommended. The synthetic glucocorticoids, they are used in the treatment of joint pain or inflammations, arthritis, temporal arthritis, dermatitis, allergic reactions, asthma, hepatitis, systemic lupus erythematosus, inflammatory bowel disease, ulcerative colitis, and Crohn's disease, sarcoidosis. And for glucocorticoid replacement, they are also used in the treatment of Addison disease or other forms of adrenal insufficiency. The topical formulation, they are also available for the skin, eye, lungs, nose and bowels infections. Corticosteroids, they are also used supportively to prevent the nausea, often in combination with 5-hydroxytryptamine 5-HT3 antagonist, for example ondansetrons. Typical undesirable effects of glucocorticoid presents quietly uniformly as drug-induced Cushing syndrome. Typical mineralocorticoids, these are the side effects which are reported. After administration of mineralocorticoids, these are the side effects which are reported in the literatures. So there may be a chances of hypertension, abnormally high blood pressures, and it may cause hypokalemia, low potassium level in the blood, hypernatremia whenever there is high sodium level in the blood, without causing peripheral edema, metabolic alkalosis and connective tissue weakness. More side effects, they are reported here. So if corticosteroids, they can cause permanent eye damage. So there may be a chances of, you can say, permanent eye damage by including central serous retinopathy, CSRs, central serous retinopathy. So it is also known as central serous chorioretinopathies. So it means that our eye contain photoreceptor cells, and these photoreceptor cell it may be in the form of rod and cones. So rods they are working especially at. Moreover, a variety of steroid medications from anti-allergy spray, nasal spray, Nasonex, Flonase to topical skin creams to eye drops, Tobradex to prednisolone have been implicated in the development of CSR. So as I was discussing that there may be a chances of damaging of retina, which contain photoreceptor cell. If your retina become damaged, so it means your sense of sight, so it become weak, you become unable to perform any activity. Cortisone, often misspelled cortisone's brand name cortones, is in corticosteroids which are used to treat arthritis, pain and inflammation. So as I have already told you that these are actually anti-inflammatory agents, and they are used in the variety of infection, especially and skin disorder, skin tissue infection, soft tissues infections and arthritis. Cortisone acetate may also be given an intramuscular injection, cortisone shot. Prednisone is a potent medication which is used to treat many inflammation conditions including rheumatoid arthritis. So it is important to know the proper use of the drug and be aware of the potential serious side effects. Steroid withdrawal symptoms can occur if corticosteroid drugs they are not discontinued gradually. So tapering the dose of steroid minimize the corticosteroid withdrawal symptoms. Glucocorticoid induce osteoporosis and both preventable and treatable. Glucocorticoid steroids are the most common cause of drug-induced osteoporosis. As we know better that sometimes we are using different type of medication and drugs, and due to use of these drugs there may be a chances of drug-induced diseases. So in order to minimize the chances of contaminations, infections, so you will have to to do proper dose adjustment. The term steroid is often misunderstood. Corticosteroid is a class of drug which is used to treat arthritis and many other conditions, anti-inflammatory conditions. They are often just called steroid. So what's in the name? Confusion results when they are mistaken for the anabolic steroids. Anabolic steroids, actually these are the drugs which are used by the athletes to boost the strength and enhance the physical performance. As we know that different people they are using these anabolic steroids in order to enhance, to boost up the strength, enhance their physical performance, to strengthen their muscles. What is the difference between the anabolic steroid and corticosteroid? So I am going to differentiate between the anabolic steroid and corticosteroid. According to the National Institute of General Medical Sciences, the term steroid is a chemical name for any substance that has a characteristics chemical structure consisting of a multiple chemical rings of connected atoms. Some common example of steroids are vitamin D, that is also called cholecalciferol. The second one is cholesterol. The third one is estrogen, and the fourth one is cortisone. So all these are what? So all these are steroids. Steroids are critical for keeping the body running smoothly. Various steroids have important roles in the body reproductive system and both the structure and the function of membranes. Now come toward anabolic steroids. And what are anabolic steroids? Anabolic steroids can be defined according to the National Institute on Drug Abuse. Anabolic steroids are synthetic substances related to the male sex hormone like androgen. So androgens, these are the male sex hormone which are responsible to control the secondary sexual character of the male. They provide the growth of the skeletal muscles. For example, anabolic effect. This is called anabolic effect. So if anabolic steroids are used, say they will produce or cause, they will promote the growth of the skeletal muscles and the development of male sexual characteristics androgenic effects. So what are androgenic effects? So it means that whenever these anabolic steroids, these are the synthetic substances related to the male sex hormone, if these are used, so it will enhance the libido, the sexual desire of the male. The proper term for these compounds usually is anabolic or androgenic steroid, as the name indicate. Androgenics mean androgens, which are the male sex hormone. Estrogenics, one is estrogenics. So anabolic or androgenic steroids. Anabolic refer to the muscle building, while androgenic refer to increase the masculine characteristics. For example, if androgenic substances are used, so it will directly enhance your libido. Steroids refer to the class of drugs. Anabolic steroids, they are always legally only used by prescription. It means that these drugs can be sold with the prescription of a registered medical practitioners or pharmacists to treat the condition that occur when the body produces abnormally low amount of testosterone. So whenever the production of testosterone is low, so it means that these anabolic steroids can be used, such as delayed puberty, when a person is not sexually mature properly, and some type of impotence. Anabolic steroids, they are also prescribed to treat the body wasting in patients with AIDS and other disease that results in loss of lean muscle mass. Anabolic steroids are being abused. So abuse mean wrong use of drug. So anabolic steroids are being abused by some athletes and others to enhance the performance or improve the physical appearance. Abuse of anabolic steroids can lead to serious health problems, some of which they are irreversible. So these are the major side effects which are reported by the literature after let's suppose if a person use anabolic steroids. So it will produce these are the side effects which are reported here. So there may be chances of liver tumor, there may be chances of cancers, it may cause jaundice, it may cause high blood pressure, so it may cause kidney tumor, it may cause severe acne, and it may cause tremblings. In male, if these anabolic steroids are used in male, the side effect they are reported including shrinking of the testicles. It means your testicles, it becomes shrink, it becomes split. So when it becomes shrink, and breast development may be occur in male. While in female, in case of female, the side effects which are reported including the growth of facial hairs, menstrual changes, the menstrual cycle of the female will be disturbed, and deepening of voice like male will be occur, and teenagers' growth may halted prematurely and permanently. So let's suppose if these anabolic steroids they are used, so these are the side effects which are reported after using anabolic steroids. Now come toward corticosteroids. So corticosteroids are glucocorticoids, often just called steroids, are the drug closely related to cortisol, a hormone which is naturally found in the adrenal cortex, the outer layer of the adrenal gland, as I have mentioned in my previous lectures. Corticosteroids, they can act on your immune system by blocking the production of substance that trigger the allergic and inflammatory actions, such as prostaglandins, which are anti-inflammatory in nature. So it means that corticosteroids can directly act on your immune system by blocking the production of substances that can attack on allergics and inflammatory actions, such as prostaglandins. Now these are the names of different corticosteroids which are used in daily routines, like betamethasone. So betamethasone, this is the chemical names, and Celestone. So betamethasone is available in a market by a trade name Celestones. Budesonide, it is available by a trade name into Cort-EC. Cortisone is available by Cartons. Dexamethasone is available in a market by trade name Decadron. Hydrocortisone is available in a market by trade name Cortef. Methylprednisolone is available by trade name Medrol. Prednisolone is available in a market by trade name Prelons. Prednisone is available in a market by trade name Deltasones. Triamcinolone is available in a market by trade name Kenacort and Kenalog. So different. Corticosteroids benefits with risk. Corticosteroids are the powerful drugs which can quickly reduce the swelling and inflammation, greatly improve the symptom and provoke the incredible results. However, these are potential consequences and side effects. The power of corticosteroid shouldn't be feared but must be respected. To maximize the benefits but minimize the potential side effects, steroids are usually prescribed in low doses or for short durations, not for a longer durations, because the chances of ADR adverse drug reactions may be enhanced. The potent effect of corticosteroids can result in serious side effects which may make the Cushing disease and malformations of the adrenal gland, resulting in the overproduction of cortisol. It means whenever the adrenal gland is responsible for the production of adrenalines, and actually in Cushing disease, the malformation of adrenal gland resulting overproduction of the cortisol count, the cortisol production, it become overactive. The list of potential side effects is long as can include, so it will, these are the side effects which are reported when these corticosteroids are used. So it will increase the appetite and weight gain, deposition of fats in the chest, face and upper back and stomach, water and salt retention leading to swelling and edema, and there may be it cause high blood pressure, as well as diabetes, osteoporosis, cataract, which is the eye disease, acne vulgaris, muscle weakness, thinning of the skin, increased susceptibility to the infection, stomach ulcer, psychological problems such as depression and adrenal suppression, as well as crisis. Tapering up the dose of steroids. Side effects are minimized by taking the lowest dose possible. So tapering up dose means tapering up the dose of steroid means that the side effect can be minimized by taking the lowest doses possible that still yield positive results and following doctor's orders. It is important to avoid self-regulation of the dosage either by adding more or stopping the drug without a schedules. Steroid must be gradually reduced to permit the adrenal gland to resume the natural cortisol productions. Eliminating doses too quickly can may cause produce adrenal crisis. Let's suppose it means that you should left the drug. Eliminating doses too quick so result adrenal crisis, which is a life-threatening state causing by insufficient level of cortisols. Another possible complication to coming up steroid is withdrawal syndrome or rebound effect, which is the body exaggerated response to the removal of the drug. Inshallah, in my next lectures, I will discuss about the prednisolone, its mechanism of action, its side effects and adverse effects, and how the clinical uses of prednisolone. And thank you so much for watching my lecture.